Hello, guys. Welcome back to another episode of the Azeez podcast. My name is Azeez, your regular host on your favorite podcast, the Azeez podcast. Just like you know, I usually bring in everybody that is involved in Nigerian football to my podcast to share one or two things about themselves, about what they know about Nigerian football, what they are faced, what they are facing, and what would normally happen in future. On today's episode of the Azeez podcast, I bring to you one of the best coach in the MPFL. He's somebody that he has worked his way out from the grassroots to the top level, and at a certain level, they started calling him different names. They started comparing him with the top coaches in the Nigerian Premier League. I present to you Coach Paul Ofor. This coach happened to be one big coach that he broke into the limelight, and as at today, you can't talk about top coaches in the MPFL without mentioning his name. I present to you Coach Paul Ofor of Sporting Lagos. Coach, welcome to the Azeez podcast.
Thank you, Abu, for the invite. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, I just use like 45 seconds. Introduce yourself and tell my listeners, our viewers, who be Coach Paul Ofor.
Okay. Like you already said, my name is Coach Paul Ofor. I'm a football coach, former coach of Sporting Lagos FC. I've been privileged to also coach Jeffa in Benin Republic and Warri Wolf. I started my journey from the grassroots, and I've been opportunity to coach all the leagues in Nigeria, from NLO to NNL to MPFL.
Wow, massive. So, Coach, let's start this way. My podcast happens to be a platform where everybody that is involved in football, you come share one or two experience you get. So, let's start this way. Why and how did you decide to become a coach?
I love football. I wanted to play the game. Unfortunately, I would say my talent wasn't enough for me to play professional football. But I played during my school days. From primary school, I was the head boy, and I was also the captain of my school, to secondary school, Boys Model Secondary School in Cholona. To even my diploma days in Uniben, that was when I fully started coaching, because I was involved in organizing my departments in the Dance Cup and all that. So that was where I really took interest in coaching. And I also play FIFA manager from 2009 to 2012. I was deeply into FIFA manager, and that was how I learned about structure of a team and training organization and all that. So it's also what pushed me into going on field to try to learn what's day-to-day training activity of a coach is. And I started working closely with a lot of coaches and started developing my coaching techniques.
So, yeah, that's a very, very good one. So, Coach, would you like to share some of few of the challenges you faced from your passion for coaching to where you suddenly got yourself into? Some of the challenges you faced.
Yeah, I think the first one is people not believing in me because of my age. I remember the first time I met Tiakoma chairman. Coach Akbobome was the GM of the club then, Tiakoma FC. Then they wanted to hire me. So when I met the owner of the team in his office, he was like, he asked the GM if I'm a player or a coach. When you are young and without having a playing background, it's difficult for people to believe in you. But I'm also very grateful to the like of Tony Akoma, who also gave me that opportunity. Antonio Ko, who also supported me massively in my Anyoma United project. So I would say I've been privileged to meet a lot of people that gave me the opportunity, that believed in my talent, despite me not having that playing background. And also my young age, they gave me the opportunity, and I thank God I was able to take it.
Okay, perfectly. Because normal people gonna look say this young guy now he won't coach me. But it's
Yeah,
one of
yeah,
those things. I think that should be a Nigerian mentality because we have seen coaches even younger than you coaching big teams abroad and they have
yeah.
succeeded. So I think
Yes.
it's a Nigerian mentality. Okay. So coach, at the end of the day, you have coached from the NLO to NNL to the NPFL. Would you say you have been lucky or you walked your way to where you have gotten to today?
I'll say both. I'll say both.
Hmm.
You need people to give you opportunity. It's not that it's not as if I'm the best coach. It's not as if I have the best ideas. Or there are young coaches out there that are also looking for the opportunity. But I will say I was prepared, and I also met people that were willing to give me that opportunity. Like I remember how I got into Warri Wolf. Um, that season, they were struggling, and they had to let Coach Taju go. He was the head coach then, and I was just training normal. After Warri Wolf training, I have a training time for Tiakoma, and immediately after Tiakoma training, I will wait a bit for school to close so that I will take on my kids. Anotech. I had an academy in Warri then, Anotech Football Academy. So I was practically spending my whole day in Warri City Stadium, and I didn't know that Muzeto was just observing me. So, and he admired everything, my training program, how I handle the kids and all that. So he was just waiting for the opportunity for him to give me the job in Warrior Wolf. So I remember he called me and he gave me a task that I should go and watch Word of Life and do a report between Word of Life and Dynamite, that football, the match between two of them, because they were their next opponent. So I went there, I watched the match, and I did a written report to him, and he said, okay, I should find time to meet the coach and also explain my observation from the match, which I did. So he was very impressed with the report, and immediately Taju left, he gave me the opportunity to come into Warri Wolf and as an assistant coach to assist Coach Kesta Ojo, who was the assistant coach to Taju. So we had a good run, won 2 away games, and we were able to, including the Word of Life that I went to watch, and we were able to gain promotion to NPFL. That was my first experience in NNL, and we got promoted to NPFL. We also had a good run in the NPFL before COVID set in and stopped the league then. So I think I won't say it's just hard work. It wasn't down to just hard work. It was also luck. Grace have a part to play in it.
Oh, okay. So, coach, as out of that period, you were coaching your academy and those kids. Were you, as out of that period, expecting a call or invite from Warri Wolves, or you just kept on doing what you wanted to do?
Part of the reason why I remember 2015 when we Anyoma United, when we got to the semi-final of the Delta State FA Cup and we played Warri Wolf. Part of the reason why I decided to move to Warri 2017 was because when Tiakoma came calling, I knew that they train in Warri City Stadium and they use the same pitch with Warri Wolf. So
With
it
Warri
was
Wolves?
so it was a strategic move for me because I wanted that opportunity to be able to train where people will see me. I remember I made that move for 20,000 and I had to pay my rent. It was 20,000 a month and I had to pay my rent from my salary. So I made that move because I wanted the opportunity. Football in Delta North is not the same with football in Warri because Warri Wolf is there. We also have a lot of other teams in Warri that play NLO and NNL. So I took that opportunity just to show everybody what I can do and also to use that field, that Warri Stadium field, to kind of market myself, and it worked for me.
Oh, massive. So, coach, at the end of the day, you got a call from the then Warri Wolves chairman, Edson Moses, to come work with Warri Wolves as an assistant coach. How did you feel as at that period that now you had a dream to coach Warri Wolves? Now you are in Warri Wolves. How did you feel as at that period?
It was massive. It was massive for me. I remember when I told Tiakoma about the move, he wasn't very happy, as in terms that I'm leaving his football club. But he was excited for me too because he felt it was an opportunity. I remember he insisted that he was going to do an agreement with Mozizeto that it should be kind of a loan from me, from his team to Warri Wolf,
Tiakoma
and
to Warri
immediately,
Wolves.
yeah, I immediately after the season I have to return to them and all that. So we prepared the agreement, what we both signed, and himself he also signed. That was how I moved. So it was like what I've worked for, what I actually came to Warri for. So it was a very good opportunity for me, and I think I also made good use of it.
Oh, okay. So, coach, for anybody where they involved in Nigerian football, we know that there used to be a certain time that Warri Wolves used to be one of the biggest team in Nigerian football, and that should be the period of 2012, 13, 14, 15.
Yeah,
Now, as out of that period, Warri Wolves had some of the best legs in Nigerian football.
yeah,
I'm talking about the players. They used to have the likes of Coach Paul Aibogun as their coach then. Now, you joining Warri Wolves, was there any sort of pressure on you to live up to that expectation to the likes of the Coach Paul Aibogun like you?
yeah. Yeah, it wasn't it wasn't the pressure wasn't to live up to. The Warri Wolf was gone already, and
Okay.
this Warri Wolf was the Warri Wolf in the NNL, trying to gain promotion into NPFL, back into NPFL, trying to reclaim their glory. And if you know Mozizeto very well, you know that he's a winner, and he doesn't like losing, and will put every pressure on everybody, the players, the coaches, the kids manager, everybody have to. And he kind of pushed me. If I look back today, I also appreciate the fact that he pushed me. He gave me a lot of pressure. I don't think there is any pressure I will face in football today that will be like what Mozizeto did to me. I remember then, before game, as young as I was then, before game and even after game, the nurse usually come to take my BP, because no matter what happens, it's always Paul. He's always coming to Paul. He's always praying, and he prepared me for where I am today, and I'm very grateful. So it's a different kind of pressure, and he also, even in all that, you can see that he loves me. You can see that he had that love, that affection for me, and really wanted the best for me, wanted me to grow, and I am grateful to him for pushing me that way.
So, in other words, you are trying to let us know that Coach Mr. Eto Moses played a very huge role in your coaching career.
Definitely. I don't know. Maybe if he didn't give me that opportunity to come into Warri Wolf, then maybe I'll still be coaching my kids and coaching NLO and all that. He gave me that opportunity, and that was why I said, and we made good use of it, because we had a good season. We got promoted, and from there, I didn't relent. I left Warri Wolf. I went to Benin Republic. I came back to Sporting Lagos, and from there, we gained promotion to NPFL. So he played a great role in me
Yeah. So,
being the coach
coach,
I am today.
you actually joined Warri Wolves as an assistant coach.
Yeah.
What does it feel like being an assistant coach to a top team in Nigeria? What does it feel like? Because you used to be the head coach of Tiakoma.
Yeah.
Now you are joining Warri Wolves as an assistant coach. What does it feel like being an assistant coach?
Uh, it's difficult. It's not easy. I must be honest. It depends on the type of coach you are working with, and I think one of the things that we really need to change in Nigerian football is allowing coaches to pick the head coaches to pick their assistant coaches, because this game is about trust, it's about loyalty, and it's also about people being able to work together, like the same ideology, the same philosophy. When you don't have the same philosophy, it's always going to be a problem. I was lucky to work with Coach Kesta Ojo because he was like a father to me, and he gave me the freedom to work. He gave me sometimes we just discuss the program, and he said, Paul, I trust you, just go ahead, and he gave me that role, and I was able to grow into the coach I am today. So it's not every coach that will give you that opportunity for you to be able to lead a team the way he did. So, and we'll continue to maintain that relationship because he was a father to me. So going back to the question you asked, if you work with a head coach that your philosophy doesn't align, it's going to be very frustrating. Like you come to training every day and you are doing what you don't love because it's not the way you see football, it's not the way you believe football. But also being able to condition yourself and understand that as an assistant coach, that your primary role is to support your head coach, no matter how you feel, no matter what you think about football, whatever the head coach wants to do, you can only advise. And if your advice is not taken, the best thing for you to do is to give your 100% to the coach. But I also feel that Nigerian football, one of the step forward that we have to take is to allow head coaches to pick their assistant coach, at least their first assistant coach.
So that they can trust the assistants well.
Not about trust, so that if you are picking your assistant coach, you are definitely going to pick somebody that sees football the way you see it, that understand football the way you do. So you are able to work
Perfect.
together. You are able, because you see, when you have an assistant coach that you don't see football the same way, normal. I don't believe that the chairman is supposed to be calling an assistant coach to ask him what is happening in the team or what do you think, why the result is the way it is. So immediately things are not going well and these calls begin to come in, is going to be a different opinion from your opinion, from the way you see football. The assistant coach is never going to be 100% behind you because he believes things should be done differently. And I can't blame the assistant coach for that because that's also the way he sees football. That's the way he believes will give results. Everybody, when you are not in charge, believes that you have the best idea until you are given the opportunity to be in charge. And you find out that you don't even know anything, that you don't even have any idea. So I think one of the forward steps that we have to take in Nigerian football is seriously allowing head coaches to pick their assistant coaches.
Oh, perfect, perfect. So coach, I think I like this particular part you just touched, and you actually talked about Coach Kesta Ojo being like a father figure to you. He was very, very comfortable with you, and he allowed you to work. You also made mention of Etumosis bringing you into limelight. Now you were with Warri Wolves under Coach Kesta Ojo. You both of you promoted the team to the MPFL. Then, out of nowhere, another coach came in as your head coach, as your TA. Were you actually expecting that?
At that point, as a matter of, even before we gained promotion, we already knew that somebody was coming in because I remember Coach Ngozi Elechukwu was following us everywhere then. He was everywhere waiting for us to gain promotion and all that. My joy then as a young coach, I read no meaning to it. I was very excited about the opportunity to be in Warri Wolf NNL, moving from NLO to NNL. And also them saying that they are bringing a new coach. I felt, okay, it's still a learning curve for me. I think I don't know how, I can't say how Coach Kester took it. He was the head coach then, so I don't know how he took it, but we were open to the idea and we tried to give all the support we could to Coach Ngozi, but it didn't work. He didn't start the season with us. Then that was when Coach Evans again came in.
Oh, so at the end of the day, do you think you as a person, you came in to assist Coach Kesta? That is when Warriors were playing in the NNL. Now the team has been promoted to the NPFL. Now Coach Ogenyi Evans came in as the technical advisor, and Coach Kesta had to leave. Do you think Coach Kesta would look at you like you are not being loyal to him?
He didn't leave immediately. Coach Kester didn't leave immediately. And he wasn't the one that brought me to Warri Wolf. It was
Okay.
Warri Wolf employed me. Moses Zeto employed me as the chairman of the club. So it's a different thing if I came into the club with Coach Kester. But
Okay.
it was a different scenario. We worked together, myself, Coach Kester, and Coach Evans Ogeni, till Coach Kester started having issues with the chairman of the club, and they couldn't find a common ground. He had to leave. He was fired after prolonged misunderstanding between both of them. Then I became the first assistant coach to Coach Evans Ogeni. So it wasn't as if we gained promotion immediately and he left. No, we were working. I think it was in the second season that he left.
Yeah, I remember that I was part of the team in 2020 when we played the Premier League, the MPFL with Warri Wolves in 2020. And as far as I'm concerned, we were not doing badly before the COVID-19 started. And do you
Yeah.
think that particular team would have gotten to a better position if the season ended that season, that's 2020?
Yes, we were well positioned. We were doing very well. That was the first season before COVID-19. COVID-19 came in. Yeah, I thought maybe finish eighth or seventh position, but I don't think in the top half. And it was a very decent position for a team just gaining promotion.
So at the end of the day, COVID-19 couldn't allow us finish that season. Then the following season, you became the head coach of Warri Wolves. What do you think
No,
really
no,
happened?
no, no. That was it was Advance Ogeni that was the head coach.
Okay, yes, yes, yes.
Yes, yes. So
Evans Ogenyi became the coach. Then out of something happened. He had to leave, and you became the coach at a certain
yeah,
time.
yeah. It was about results. I think I remember it was about results, and the commissioner, the pressure in Delta State football. You played there, you know, it's not just
Yep.
from Mosizeto. It's
Mm.
from the commissioner to Mosizeto, then from Mosizeto to the head coach, down to the players and everybody. You also recall how it is when we lose away matches or lose home match.
Yes,
You dare
yes,
not
I
come
know, I
out
know.
or and all that. So the pressure, the demand was too much. The pressure was high, and at the point, it wasn't even Mozeto making the decision to sack. It was directly from the commissioner that Vance Ogbeni should leave. And I remember then, even the last match that he played, I was right behind him when he made his press conference, and he told the players goodbye in the dressing room and left. So it wasn't
So,
Mozeto. It was more of the commissioner wanting more from the results that we were posting then.
so how did you feel as a young coach being named the head coach of Warri Wolves Football Club?
It was a career progression for me. I wasn't happy to see Evans leave, but I was satisfied with my work with him, knowing fully well that I gave him my best and I did my part. I remember in that team, I know I was the one that brought in Shegu, I was the one that brought in Reed One, a lot of players in the team that today are doing well on their own. So I was really, really impressed with my work with him, and I learned a lot from him because he was also a father figure and a very diplomatic leader. And I think I gained a lot from his leadership style. So till tomorrow, we still have a very good relationship. So I wasn't happy to see him leave. But when the opportunity also came to me, football, that's the way it is. All about hiring and firing. So when the opportunity came to me, I tried to do the best I could do with the team. But it was an interim role. It wasn't a full-time role. So which also the commissioner made a decision to relieve everybody in the coaching staff and brought in Ortega and a new coaching crew.
Yeah, what would you say happened to Warri Wolves when you got the job as the interim coach that made the team wasn't getting results? What would you say that happened within that period?
It wasn't. I think the thing is that we lost against Canopilla at home. That was where the commissioner, and who was there. The commissioner was there. I think the first game against Heartland, we drew that game against Heartland. We were even supposed to win that game because we scored a late goal that was disallowed. So we lost against Kano Pillars. The commissioner was there and he wasn't happy about the result, even though he was happy with the style of play and the philosophy. But he made that decision after that everybody should go. I felt we were not given enough time for us to. It was a new team, and he was also demanding a different type of play, different type of football, and we're stabilizing. Then he made that decision that crashed everything. Looking back to that decision, I don't think it's a decision he or anybody associated with the club will be proud of, because eventually the team got relegated, and I don't think we would have relegated if he allowed us to continue working.
So, are you in any way saying club chairman or commissioner shouldn't be interfering into the on-pitch um, issues with football teams in Nigeria?
Not at all. I'm not saying that. Of course, it's their team. They have to interfere. But you see, we're not patient enough. We're not patient in growing a team, developing a team. We want immediate result, and football is
Results.
not like that. Football is not like that. Unfortunately, I also understand from their own aspects the fear of relegation and all that. But there is something I always say: if in the heat of the moment, the growing point is win is difficult. For a coach to be able to turn around result, win is most difficult. That is the growing point for the coach and also the team. All you need is one result to turn around everything, one result for the players to believe more, one result for everybody associated with the club to believe more. Then there is also something that I think club chairmen and also team owners have to also be very conscious of. Coach Paul Aibogo, my technical director in the Sporting Lagos, said something one day when he was addressing the players. He said that the head coach is the leader of the team. Whichever direction he wants us to go is the direction we are going to take. Good point. But is it like that? No, it's not. The moment you have people talking to the owner, especially players, especially assistant coaches, talking to the chairman, talking to the owner, is no longer the head coach leading the way and making decisions. Some people start feeling important. Some people start, when you call a person naturally, I call you Abu Aziz and I say, what do you think is the problem? You are not going to tell me good things. You are always going to tell me the things you perceive. So
That would
that
favor
particular
me.
question, exactly, that particular question is not a good question to ask anybody under a coach, a player, assistant coach, or anything. If you feel the coach is not delivering, have a one-on-one discussion with him. If you are not satisfied, you can go ahead to fire him. But the role of a head coach in Nigeria is being abused every day. That is why it is difficult for a head coach to have total control. When some players in the team feel that they are bigger than the coach and they have direct access to the owner, it's never going to do the team any good. Because in the position where they are supposed to give the coach 100% and give the team 100%, they won't, because they believe that you go, another person go come. I get direct link to the owner, to the chairman, and it's something that is seriously affecting our football. From my own experience, from what I think, the total control of leading the team should be rest on the
The
head
head
coach of
coach.
the team. And if you are not
Oh,
satisfied at any point, you can go ahead and fire him. But if you hire a coach, trust the coach to do the job.
perfect, coach. Well done, coach. And coach, you actually coached in Warri Wolves. Would you say you were satisfied with your stay in Warri Wolves or not?
I remember when when I left the team, when commissioner said we should go, they went away to play. The next match, they came home. I was there with my family to support the team. I was there the next home match to support, though that was the last match I attended. But I was there to appreciate the team, appreciate everybody. Warri Wolf is my state team, is my home team, is my darling team, and I will always love that team. The same way I also love Sporting Lagos. Just like the last home game that Sporting Lagos played, I went there to say thank you to the fans, to say thank you to everybody, and to also have a different view. You know, when you are on the technical line and you are
It's
coaching,
always
you
different
don't,
from
yeah,
being up there.
you don't enjoy the atmosphere and you don't see what's happening. So I went there to enjoy
Yeah.
the club, to see
So,
what the club is like.
so coach, you actually coached in Warri. Now you have coached in Lagos. How would you compare the football fans in Warri Wolves and football fans in Lagos?
Lagos, okay, if you talk about Lagos is different. Lagos is massive. I have to be
Hmm.
very honest. People come to the stadium, pay for tickets, and support the team. You see the type of atmosphere that the fans create in Oniko. In my experience with Sporting Lagos, is out of the world. Is out of what I've experienced or what I experienced in Warri Wolf. You
Hmm.
see people genuinely attached to a team, show their love for people to leave their home, pay for ticket, come and be on their toes from the beginning of the match to the
For
end of the
90
match
minutes.
for
Hmm.
90 minutes, talking to the players, motivating them, cheering them, and all that is massive, and I appreciate every one of them.
So you actually prefer the Lagos fans to Warri fans?
The atmosphere in Lagos is
I
is good.
understand. I understand. So, coach, this actually happened. You left Warri Wolves, and out of nowhere, we had or learned or read that you are now in Benin Republic. What brought about that Benin Republic deal or contract?
Warri Wolf also did my experience and my work in Warri Wolf also did also relationship with people that I've worked with. I remember Mr. Peter, a football scout that I worked with in 2012. 2012, yes, that I worked with. He put a call to me and he asked if I'm interested in going to Benin Republic. And I was like, yeah, if the opportunity and the project is right, why not? I will. So he said, okay, I should send him my CV. I did, with also a copy of my philosophy. He forwarded it to the president of the club, and they invited me over to have a formal interview, which we did. And immediately they decided to offer me a contract. I signed my contract before leaving Benin Republic, came to Nigeria, prepared, and went back. So it's also about relationship. That's why everywhere I work, I try as much as possible. In my experience with Tiakoma, Warri Wolf, Sporting Lagos, Jeffa, everywhere I've worked so far is a place that I can conveniently walk back in because of the kind of relationship I try to keep with everybody I work with. So it's about relationship and also the track record of what I've done that opened that door for me to Benin.
So, how would you compare the level of football in Nigeria and the level of football in Benin Republic?
Two different level, honestly. If you also go to Benin, you see that a lot of Nigerians are playing there too. Um, I think the basic difference is the
Hmm.
officiating, and also quality of player is also different, and the belief system. You know, in Nigeria, I don't know, but my experience with players so far is believe more in talent, believe more in, okay, we'll go to a match, we'll play, we'll put in maximum effort, and we'll get. But in Benin, it's kind of a different mentality because they also believe a lot in voodoo. They believe
Hmm.
that they can influence
In
games
voodoo.
with voodoo. Yeah, they believe
Okay.
a lot. All the teams, majorly all the teams believe a lot in that. But I think it's also because I have contact with my old team and some of my players there. Like for instance, I'll use Jeffa as an example. The president tried as much as possible to make it very clear that if a player doesn't believe in something, that nobody should force him to do that. Even though the community would be like, that's the fans would be like, no, the reason why we are not winning match or the reason why we lost that match is because some Nigerians are not doing it. The coach is encouraging some people not to do it and all that. That was actually the major issue I was having with them, because there is no way I will encourage any player to do anything, even praying, or all my stay in Sporting Lagos, all my stay as the head coach in Warri Wolf. I never organized the prayer section. I never try to bring religion into the game. I have my own personal belief. I'm a Christian. I believe in God. I pray. I strongly believe that grace and favor of God can influence outcome of games and all that. But it's my personal belief. I don't force it on anybody. And also, I try as much as possible to also make sure that, okay, for instance, when we are praying, we have the Muslim brothers pray and we have the Christian brother. Everybody should, if at all you must pray, beginning of a training section or after a training section. So I don't believe in bringing religion into football. I believe that once we're on the field, we are there to work, and at the end, you can go and pray, you can go and do whatever you believe, as
Whatever you
long
want to
as you
do.
are not, whatever you want to do, as long as you are not doing anything to harm the team or harm your teammate. And that is why during recruitment, one of the most important things for me is to make sure that I recruit good people. If you are a Muslim, be a good Muslim. If you are a Christian, be a good Christian. And if you don't belong to any, you are not a Muslim, you are not a Christian, just be good. Just be a good person. And I think that was also something that we were able to do very well in our first season in Sporting Lagos in NNL. We had good people looking out for each other, watching out for each other, supporting each other to victory. When you are not playing, you are not happy. No player is happy that is not playing. But at that point, you give all the support to the next player playing, and it helped us a lot to achieve everything that we achieved in
So,
Sporting
coach,
Lagos.
would you say those voodoo, juju issues were part of why you left Benin Republic?
It was the last one that happened. It was crazy. I just walked into the dressing room and somebody is there. People have access to your dressing room. Fans, they have access to your dressing room. They walk into your dressing room and they do what they want to do. Like perform things, give players what they want to, and it wasn't
And you were
going.
not
It wasn't
comfortable.
I wasn't comfortable with that, and I also didn't want to create enmity between myself and the fans. And the question I kept asking them is, why is it that when we win, you give credit to your voodoo, but when we lose, remember, mind you, also when we win with your, as in you do your normal ritual. Some Nigerians don't. There are some people that don't want to take part in it, and when we win, it's your voodoo. But when we lose, you remember that some Nigerians don't participate, and they are the reason why we are losing. So you take
Wow.
credit for winning, but you don't take credit for losing.
For losing.
So it just shows you that it doesn't work. If it work, why are you going extra mile to get a coach from Nigeria? Why are you getting players from Nigeria? Just assemble your players, your community boys, and give them voodoo to go and play football. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. The
So,
most important thing is hard work and talent. That's the most
wow.
important thing.
All right, this is good. And coach, at the end of the day, you had to leave Benin Republic. How did the Sporting Lagos deal come out?
Again, I would say relationship again, and also track record. I got a call from, I think it was Shola that reached out to me directly. Um, Before then, some people already told me, a particular person already told me that my CV has been sent to Sporting Lagos and they are interested and all that. And I said, okay, I'm waiting for them to reach out to me. And Shola reached out to me and told me about the project and what he wants to do with the project, and that he wants immediate promotion and all that. So he scheduled an interview between myself, the head of recruitment, and also Coach Paul Aigogo, which we did, and I think they were satisfied with me, and they offered me the role of the head coach in the team.
Oh, good. So you actually joined Sporting Lagos. Was there any sort of pressure or clause in your deal before you joined Sporting Lagos?
In my deal with Jefa, or in my deal with,
Sporting Lagos, Sporting Lagos.
Shola made it very clear from the one that it was promotion. He wanted promotion. He wanted Sporting Lagos in the MPFL. According to him, in his words, that promotion and MPFL is the only way that the full plan of Sporting Lagos will come to pass. And you saw it when we got promoted. You saw the paparazzi in the stadium. You saw, like, that's his dream. And he's not going to stop, because he's also somebody that wants to play in the best league. He wants to be in the Champions League. He wants to, and that's what I love about him. His drive for excellence and his drive He's never going to let anything come in between what he wants to achieve with Sporting Lagos.
So, what were the things you think you did to that team that gave that team the promotion?
I think some of the things I did with the team is also some of the reason why I'm no longer in the team. Uh, when you come into a team as a coach, sometimes you have to make radical decisions, drop players,
Radical
and
decisions.
yeah, you have to make radical decisions. You have to, and all your decisions definitely won't favor everybody. There are people that won't
Okay.
be happy with it, and there are people that
Hmm.
will be happy with it. So when I came in, first of all, I observed the players around, and there was a massive need for recruitment
Clear out.
for,
Clear
yeah,
out.
for clear out, which I did, and in the process, I think I stepped on a lot of toes that. Um, uh, I don't think I was forgiven for that. I stepped on a lot of toes, but the most important thing is that we were able to achieve our goal, which was promotion, and even added to it Niger Super 8. So I'm happy, and if I have to make those decisions again, I would do it again over and over again.
So, in other words, you are saying you don't regret any of the decisions you took back then?
Not at all.
Hmm.
Not at all.
Nice. There is this talk that most NPFL players used to talk about anytime they work with a young coach. They say these young coaches, they know they like to work with experienced or matured players. Are you part of those coaches that don't like to work with experienced or matured players or aging players?
I'm not. I won't say I'm part of those coaches that you see. There must be a blend. Okay, for instance, in Warrior Wolf, Julius Obidio was in the heart of our midfield. You were there also. You know what I'm talking about. Onamado was our captain, and he played every game under me. Um, you just have to find the perfect blend of old and young players. For instance, in Sporting Lagos, we also have a junior Lokosa in the team. Uh, that is a natural leader, a born leader, and he led the line a couple of times for us when we felt it was in the right shape and the right mindset for him to be able to do that. I think the misunderstanding is that sometimes uh, the experienced players don't believe that their body is aging and that body have to be managed. That's majorly where the conflict comes in. They want to remain relevant and play every game, which is not possible. I'll tell you a story about Junior Lokosa. The game against Remo Star, I had a meeting with him. We were going away to Gombe. Yes, we were going to play Gombe United. And I had a meeting with him and I told him, this trip, I don't want you to make this trip. Because when we come back immediately, we are playing Remo Star. And I need you to be fresh. I
And that
need
is
you
your
to,
match. And
that
that is
is
his
your
match.
match. Yes. I don't want you to even come and participate with training with the coaches and the players at home. All I want you to do, whatever you feel will prepare you for that game. Work at home, work alone. When we come back, you join the team, you resume with the team. But I need you fresh. Lokosa was a beast in that game.
Hmm.
He was a beast in that game. And that is difficult. I know how much you want to play, but the experienced players also have to realize that their body is no longer the same with when they were younger. And in today's, like most of us, like myself for instance, I like high pressing game.
Okay.
Gone are the days when you say, okay, this is a number 10 that doesn't mark, this is a no, but everybody on the field have to participate.
You need to
Everybody
move.
have to put in the same work rate. If we are
Yes.
having a -1 is a problem.
It's a
So
problem, yeah.
being able, even okay, with my experience with Coach Paul, I remember a lot of time Coach Paul would tell me, if it's possible, let's give Lokosa a rest. But you can't even walk to Lokosa and tell him to take a rest because he doesn't want, even in training, he doesn't want to take a rest. The moment you are telling an advanced player, experienced player to take a rest, he feels like you are looking for a way
To bench him.
yes, to do that. But the most important thing is that you have to be fresh. You can't run the way 18 years or 19 years old player is running. But
Okay.
what we need you to do, like sometimes we also tell Lokosa, I also tell him, I say, I don't need you dropping deep to come and play touch, touch, touch. You are a finisher. What I need you to do is just to be a fox in the box. Wait for the ball.
Okay.
Get into the box more. Just stay in that box. Stay in the area where the ball can come and meet you and all that and finish. So it's about understanding your body, understanding yourself, and also being in agreement with the coach that, okay, this is the best decision for you, this is the best way to get the best out of you, because our job as coaches is actually to look for the best way to maximize the talents of the players we have, the resources we have. Without the players we cannot do anything. There is no coach that can, there is no magic. It is the players you have, the quality of the players you have, and how ready they are to play for you that wins you game.
Yeah, so coach, was there at any period in your stay with Sporting Lagos that you were under pressure from the fans or the management not to use Junior Lokosa? Because I used to come to the stadium to watch your matches, and some of the matches I don't watch live. I follow the matches on social media, and I see some people saying some negative things about Junior Lokosa. Have you ever been under any pressure not to use him because of what you hear from the outside?
Never from the management. Never from the. One of the honest credit I will have to give to Sporting Lagos is um, kind of zero interference in lineup in
Hmm.
decision making. That's one
Yeah.
of the decisions. So I take responsibility for every on-field decision I make with Sporting Lagos, and yeah, a few times the fans
Hmm.
when you are not scoring goal. Like I'll use Jonathan for example. 2-3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago, nobody wanted to see Jonathan, but he came in the last game, scored 2 goals, and the man of the match, and everybody's talking about Jonathan. That's the way it is. It also happened to Junior Lokosa when he missed a couple of chances, he didn't score a goal drop, which is natural thing for a striker to experience. People turned on him. That's the way it is. Football,
Hmm.
I keep saying it that there is no memory in football. The most important thing is what you are doing now. And if you are not delivering, people will always talk. I remember also when I was asked about my position in Sporting Lagos, I made it very clear that I don't think anybody is special. I don't think I'm special. When it comes to firing, if the last decision for Sporting Lagos is to fire me, I will take it in good faith because I understand that football is all about hiring and firing. And when the management or the board is no longer happy with what you are doing, they have to make a decision, which they also did in my case. So yes, there were a time in during the season, first round and also second round, when the fans didn't want to see Lokosa because they believe he was missing chances and all that, and also a few issues he had with them. And when we had a meeting, kind of a town hall meeting with the fans during the mid-season, I made them to understand that this man you are looking at is different. He's a leader. He loves his team. He wants to perform. But unfortunately, one of the games that you guys attacked him, his mom was there. His mom was present in the stadium, and that was actually the first time his mom was watching. But a lot of you
An
will not know.
emotional game.
Yeah, an emotional game. A lot of you will not know. And you were attacking him. His mom wasn't happy. It made him angry. It made him unhappy after the game, which led to him confronting some of you guys. But he's not like that. And they gave him a chance. And I'm happy that they rebuilt that relationship between Junior Locos. If you watch some of the games, I personally start the chant of "Oh Junior Locos" because I
Hmm.
want to see that bond. I feel honestly that I wanted more from Lokosa. You know me, I want more from every player under me.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I felt he was the link between the fans and the team. I wanted him to be that leader. I wanted him to, and the only way you can be that leader is when you are delivering every time. When you are delivering
Yeah.
every time,
Yeah.
that's when
So,
you have that
coach.
bond, when you have that link between the team and the fans.
So, coach. There was a certain time I came to the stadium to watch your match, and I had some of the fans because immediately we started this podcast, I asked you a certain question about Lagos fans and Warri fans, and you talked about how massive the Lagos fans has been. But I was at the stadium and I had Lagos fans saying sign Lagos boys, sign Isaleko boys. Most of the boys wey dey our team, they no be Yoruba, they no be this, they no be that. Does that in any way affect your person as a coach or your job?
No, it doesn't, because when I was also head coach of Warrior Wolf, I remember I brought in Shegu that later also played for
For
Sporting
Remo
Lagos,
Stars,
for Remo Star. Reed one was in that team. Mike Odunadu, I mean, that is back in Warrior Wolf
Adenodi,
now.
Adenodi,
I don't
Adenodi,
know. I was also the one that signed him. I was in Warrior and I signed a lot of Yoruba boys.
Yoruba
So
boys.
it's not about the tribe for me. It's about performance. It's about who will do
Your
the job. It's
output.
about, yes, who will deliver. So unfortunately, it happened that we tried to bring in Lagos boys. Everybody can ask Adeleke. He's there in the team. I made every effort to bring in Adeleke. Immediately we gained promotion. Last minute he went to Rivers
Rivers.
United. I made every effort to bring in Sadiq Abubakar, left back from Enyimba. Last minute he made the decision to go to Rivers United, to same Rivers United. Even this midfielder from Abia Warrior that also played, what's his name again? That also played Enyimba, that went to Rivers from Rivers to
Abdullahi.
Yes, I made every effort. The players, they are alive. You can ask them. So it's not as if anybody intentionally wanted to. What they don't understand is that, yes, Sporting Lagos, we had the good plan to be the best team in the NPFL, but not everybody wanted to come to Sporting Lagos. And at that point, we were not paying sign-off fee. It was mid-season that we made that decision to start because of what we experienced. We were not paying sign-off fee. So during the mid-season, we made that decision to start paying sign-on fee, and we were able to attract players. It's not possible for you to attract top player because that paper money is very important to everybody. All the players in the league, you know how important. If, for instance, now Ikorodu is offering you sign-off fee, Ikorodu that is in the NNL is offering you sign-off fee and a good salary more than Gombe United or Sporting Lagos, I bet you will go for the money. So money plays important role in football, and it took us half a season for us to realize that. And when we did, we were able to attract players.
So, coach, what would you say happened at the end of the day to you and Sporting Lagos? The bromance just ended out of nowhere. Like you had to leave the team.
Nothing. I won't fault Sporting Lagos, and that is why I have an open mind, and I still love that team so much, because when I look at the bright side of what Sporting Lagos gave to me, the opportunities I had with Sporting Lagos, and I am very grateful to them. I think it's a natural course, it's a natural thing that will happen. Results cannot be perfect. All the time. There are some games. What I think Sporting Lagos have failed to understand is that you cannot dominate every game. It is not every game that you dominate. You are not playing against toys. You are playing against people that also have desire, that want to win. For instance, I will give you an example of our match against Sunshine, the last game that I played in Sporting Lagos. Everybody, even the fans, I watched a lot of video online where people were complaining about the performance that day. That day, we needed to set up the way we did. And if you ask the players, the way we played that game was exactly the way we trained to play that game. Because we knew that Boboye was going to come with a 4-man attack, was going to try as much as possible to put everything on us, to put the pressure on us. And you can't dispute the quality they have in their midfield and also in their attack. So they brought the game to us. But the most important thing is that we had a game plan. And the game plan was to not press them, to not do one-on-one battle with them, but to be more organized in the midfield and the defensive zone. So we allow them have the first and the second pass, even up to the third pass. So when they progress, because everything, take it from me, every team in Nigerian League, in the NPFL, when you allow them the ball, it is the weakest moment for them. They are going to make mistakes. On their own, they are going to give you the ball. And when they do, they are out of shape. So when they are out of shape, you are able to punish. That was the game plan for us, to allow them to progress the ball. And if you go and rewatch that game, especially in the first half, you see a lot of time they gifted us the ball and we were able to transit. But just that the transition wasn't perfect, which is natural, which is something that can happen. The offensive transition wasn't perfect, and so many times we didn't make the best of the decision with Pascal, with Clement, when they are supposed to combine, look for each other. They try to be selfish and go solo and all that. But we had a perfect plan, and we won that game 1-0. Was it convincing? No, it wasn't. But did we
But
get the
you got
3 points?
your results.
We got the result. And the joy of it, I enjoyed that game because it was actually what we anticipated, what we expected from them. And we're able to contain their threat, and we're able to get the result out of it. So when you set out the plan and you're able to go out there and get that plan, it gives you joy. But I also understand on the part of the fans that they want to see excitement and they want to. Sometimes you have to win hard. You have to win dirty. Sometimes you have to. It's not every time that it will come the way you want it. It's not every time that
Coach.
you are going to win 3-0 like we played against Kano Pillars or Remo Stars.
Yeah, coach. Just like talking about Remo Stars now, I was already going there. At the Super 8 or Super 6, you won the Super 8 tournaments in Lagos, right?
Yeah.
And in the final match, you won Remo Stars. How do you feel winning that tournament?
Especially when everybody in Sporting Lagos had fear about that game. I remember when we were in Asaba, Shola called me and he was like, "Are you sure we have the team to play the Super 8? I don't want us to be embarrassed and all that." And I was like, "Don't worry, we'll have the team. We will be able to give a good account of ourselves." And we're able to do that. I also think that coming off the season, we just finished the NNL and also finished the Super 8 in Asaba. So with that also motivation of gaining promotion, it helped us a lot. For us, the boys were motivated, even though we had issues behind the scene that nobody knows about, but we were able to put everything behind us and we went all out and we won that tournament. At the end, it almost felt like the Super 8, that's the Niger Super 8, was even bigger than the promotion itself that we won. But I still cherish the promotion more than the Niger Super 8.
Yeah, so coach, immediately after you won that Super 8, there was this issues or topics that were being raised on social media by the Nigerian sports reporters, football reporters. They started putting you in the same sentence or categories with coaches like Imama, Finidi George, Coach Dan Ogumodede, Ogumbote and co. How do you feel being compared to such coaches, even Fidelis Ilechukwu? How do you feel being compared to such coaches?
These are great coaches that you have mentioned that I have a lot of respect for. I have a lot of respect for Coach Dan. He's a friend. Ilechukwu is somebody I admire so much. His work in Rangers and also in MFM. Coach Ogubote is also a coach, a father to me. I have a very good relationship with him. These are people I look up to and I respect. So being compared to them, including Coach Finidi George, they are coaches I respect and I look up to. And being compared to them, I just saw it as a stepping stone, as a motivation for me to keep working hard, for me to be able to achieve what the coaches you have just mentioned have achieved in football. You can see what Dan is doing with Remo Star. For 2 seasons, he's there in the title, fighting for the title. That's something I also wish to do in the nearest future, to be able to establish myself and be there in the NPFL and be able to fight for titles and win titles. So I respect them a lot. And when people compare me to these coaches, it's just something that I don't allow to get into my head. I don't get carried away. I just try to use it as a motivation and keep them as a role model. You see, every time I meet Dan, I listen to him. You watch even after our game. I listen to every time I have this opportunity to hear them talk. I listen to them and take all I can learn from them because they have the experience. They have played more games than me in the NPFL, and some of them also played like Finidi. When Finidi is talking, definitely I have to listen because there are a lot I can gain from him. from his playing experience and also his coaching experience. So I look up to these coaches, and I'm happy anytime to have a section with them to learn from them.
So, coach, there is this. I am very, very active on social media, especially X, former
Yeah.
Twitter. There is this thing that I noticed, and I would like to ask you. I would like to know from you. There is this group of football coaches on Twitter. They call themselves Gen Z coaches.
Gen Z.
Yes, Gen Z,
Okay.
meaning the young group of coaches in Nigeria. Okay, you are
Okay.
not part of that coach. You are not part of
No.
that group.
No, I am in a group, Next Gen Coaches. We have a WhatsApp
Yes,
platform.
next gen coaches. What are the
Yeah.
aims and objectives of those group of coaches?
Provide information, learn and grow together. It's all about
Oh,
sharing ideas and sharing information. And when there is a coaching opportunity, we share it. I remember Shola started that group, and there was a time we were reading a book every month. Every month, he would drop a book, everybody will read, and we'll all come together to review the book and share our experience and opinion about the book.
mm.
And it helped a lot of us. So it's all about sharing ideas and experience.
Yeah. Do you think at this stage of football in Nigeria, the older coaches, the older coaches in age, do you think it is time for them to pack up?
You can There is no time you say it's time for old coaches to pack up. The young coaches have to show that they can do it, and
Mm.
also be given the fair platform for them to be able to do it. We need the experience of the old coaches, and like I said before, if I have the opportunity, if Coach Benga calls me tomorrow, Coach Paul, come to Ibadan, I won't ask him why. I will get to Ibadan first before I'm here and hear from him now, because there are always a lot. Let me tell you a story. We met in Gombe. Immediately after we played, I think Doma, they came to play Gombe United, because we always hand over our opponent to them. And he came
Yeah.
to our hotel. The 1 hour I spent talking to him was massive for me, was massive for my coaching journey. Even some of the things we discussed that day happened in Sporting Lagos towards the tail end of my stay in Sporting Lagos. So such experienced coach is not a coach you just say that it's time for old coaches to. No, 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 no. The things are not done that way. We need them. We need to learn from them and also grow with them. But there should be a perfect blend, and it's not going to happen automatic. The young coaches have to work for it. They have to prove
Mm.
that they deserve it. Nobody's going to give it to you.
Yeah. So, coach, what is one decision you didn't take then that you wished you had take in your stay with Sporting Lagos, or what is one thing you did you wish you shouldn't have done?
A couple of them. Unfortunately, I don't think I want to. I had issues. I had. Okay, I would say my approach when I came into Sporting Lagos.
Mm.
When I came in my first time in Sporting Lagos, the players I dropped and maybe how I went about it and all that. I didn't observe much to know who belongs to who, and who will not be happy with a certain decision, and try to manage everybody. So I think going forward, or if I have to go back, like I said, I will still drop those players, but maybe in a different
In
way.
a better
That
approach.
yeah, with a better approach. And I know there is no good way to drop a player, but at least just make an effort to make sure everybody is carried along and all that. Because at the end, I met a team that. The chairman kind of was the person that put everybody together. The chairman was the person that the medical team, the team manager, the assistant coaches, the goalkeeper coach, and these people in return brought in the players and all that. And a lot of them had to go. And unfortunately, some people just wait for when there is crisis before they start coming up to show, when results are not going well. When results are going well, it's all Sporting Lagos. We are doing the work, everybody. But immediately it goes back, people just use that opportunity to stand up and kind of a revenge or a payback and all that. So maybe approach is something because in all, you have to be able to manage the people above you manage your players and manage everybody within the club. And if there is one experience I'm taking away from Sporting Lagos is to be able to manage, especially the people above me and my players better.
Talking about the people above you, between Mr. Godwin Enahena and Etu Moses, who would you prefer to work with again?
Both of them.
Both of them?
I'll work with both of them, yeah.
Okay. Nice. Now, you as a coach, what would you say has been your biggest achievements in coaching?
I think it also be, the first time I gained promotion with Warrior Wolf, I did it with a coach, Coach Kesta Ojo, as the lead coach. And being able to come back with Sporting Lagos and do it again with Sporting Lagos is something that I really love so much. It was a moment of fulfillment for me to be able to win and bring Sporting Lagos back to NPFL, or bring them to NPFL. So I think is a moment I cherish more than every other thing.
So just one last question before we go, Coach. Last question. A certain big player was on my podcast and he made mention of something on my podcast here. He said, many, not all, many Nigerian league coaches, they collect bribe from players. What's your 2% about that?
I can only say about myself, and thank God all the players, they are all hearing me, all the players that I've worked with, including you, they are alive and they can also speak out. I will never, and I have never asked for anything from an agent, from a player to sign a player. I have not even taken a percentage. For instance, two of the players that I signed in Sporting Lagos are out of the country right now. I did not even negotiate a certain percentage with anybody that when this player, if I'm signing this player as he's going, no. I always believe, for instance, as a coach, I earn more than the player. It's total wickedness for me to start asking the player to be giving me anything. I don't do that and I will never do that. And anybody can ask any player that I've also worked under me.
Yeah, so Coach, have you ever been in a situation where a player is earning more than the coach? Have you ever been in that situation?
I don't know, honestly, because I'm not the person that negotiates players' contracts. For instance, I can't tell you what every player in Sporting Lagos earns. I only know. I can't even tell you what my assistant coaches earn. So I only know about my salary and what I do, and I negotiated it. So if a player is able to negotiate a better contract for himself, then good luck to him.
So if a player is earning more than you or any of your assistant coach, would you in any way have issues with him if he doesn't deliver, or if he doesn't give you what he is expected to deliver on the field? Will you have any issues with him just because he is earning more than you?
Like you said the last time, or like I said the last time, I don't think the role of a coach includes knowing player salary. So there are certain things you shouldn't try to mingle with. I don't know what my players earn. Majority of them, I don't ask. I can't ask a player, what are you earning? How much are you paid? So I'm not interested in that. The moment you start investigating or looking into that, you are bringing a lot of confusion for yourself and for the team. So I rather focus on my work, and the most important thing for me, like you said, the player, we all have to deliver. Because if the player is not delivering, then it's a problem for me also. Because every time I put you on that field to play, I am responsible for you. It's my decision. If it goes bad, it comes back to me. If it goes good, you share the credits. The player is doing well, the coach is doing well. So it's my dream and desire that every time I play a player, that he delivers for me and for the team.
Yeah, so Coach, I did very, very grateful to say you honor my invitation. And with this, myself and 1 million Nigerian players out there, both the local, professionals, and even amateur, them don't learn many things from this our few minutes together. Before I go let you go, I would need you to just help me sign out and tell our listeners and viewers to just subscribe to our YouTube channel and to follow us on social media platforms, the Abu Aziz podcast. Then we round it up, Baba.
Okay, to everybody listening to us and watching this podcast, I urge you all to subscribe and follow the Abu Aziz podcast. There are a lot of things you heard today that without this podcast you will not be privy to. So it's a very good opportunity for everybody, for me as a coach, to express myself and also let you know some of the things that happen behind the scene that we are not privy to. So it's important that we continue to encourage Abu Aziz and encourage this platform for him to be able to reach more coaches and more players to be able to share their experience with you all. So please follow and subscribe.
So what next for Coach Paul? What next? What next?
You will hear. We are
Thanks,
cooking.
Baba. Thank you, boss. Thank you, boss.
All right.
I'm
Thanks for
grateful,
having
boss.
me.
I'm grateful. I'm grateful, boss. Thank you for
Thank you
coming.
for this invite. Thank you, bro.
All right, boss.